Hi there, Natalie with you today with a new project for Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine. And this month I created a mini album using the October 2020 sampler. And this sampler was a combination of simple stories and doodlebug collections and in a tiny little box filled with fall perfection. Honestly, as soon as I opened it, I was like, I want to create a mini. And I'm not big on creating mini albums, but I had the papers were beautiful that I wanted to just document my favorite things. So you see that the front of my album is actually a shaker element, and I received a chipboard frame in my kit. I cut it in half, and that is going to give me the size of my entire album. So my album is 4 by 5 inches, with a signature or a binding of 1/4 of an inch on 1/4 of an inch binding, and that's just gonna help me to create an interactive album. All my layouts but one are all interactive. So I created pockets. In this case, it's an accordion fold, just because I had so many pictures of the dog and I in the morning walks. And I live right next to the Humber River here in Toronto. So I have pretty much, it's like being in nature in the middle of the city. So we go for lots of walks with my baby in this case. So I have quite a few pictures. So I decided to create this accordion fold for it. And it was very simple, and that's one of the reasons why I left a 1/4 of an inch binding, so it will help me with to keep everything in place. Here I used a combination of doodlebug. I created a pocket to hide my lines of journal, and then just added pictures of my family going to the pumpkin patch. All those pumpkins that you see there, they come from the foam stickers, and also the chipboard are from the frame that I told you. Doodlebug, I created an extra envelope out of vellum just to add all the extra pictures. Here I used quite a bit of Doodlebug just because I had that beautiful card that says my favorite memory. And you know how Doodlebug has all those cute and beautiful elements, and that reminded me of my niece and nephew. So I decided to create that flap and have pictures of them. My little box had these trees in it, and that reminded me of apples. So I decided to use that to create a little pocket that's gonna conceal my lines of journal. And then I created this flap with pictures of my kids back in the day and last year when we went apple picking. This is probably the only layout that is not interactive, and it's all about pies and how many pies we eat. But there's quite a bit of foam behind the pies just to create that dimension. This one here is all about Thanksgiving, and I decided to create that flap just because I wanted to put a picture of the turkey. We're not big on eating lots of turkey until we find an organic farm, and it's delicious. And the card where I wrote all my lines of journal actually comes from the fall issue. There's extra content. Make sure you check it out. They're for free and it's available there. You see the floating flip. I just used the foam adhesives from Simple Stories that came in my kit and added a piece of acetate to have it floating on the page. For this one, I decided to create a folio folder just to document traditions. The picture on the left is Dia de los Muertos, which is what I celebrate in Ecuador, and the other one is Halloween. And then my kid had an entire sheet of alpha, so it helped to add in titles. And just at the back of it, I just had a little piece that had a notebook with a lot of the fall activities that I documented. So I decided just to create a simple layout at the back. And you're gonna see I'm just going back showing you one more time what I created. Like I said, when I created my signatures for this book, I make sure to leave 1/4 of an inch to connect the two pages so that I had the space to create the flaps and not have them all bulked up. It took me, I'm gonna say, at least 2 days to build this. Not because it's complicated, just because it was jump a little bit here, a little bit there, and just to downsize the amount of pictures that I had, because I had quite a few pictures. And I think after I worked all of this together, I'm left over one piece of paper, and just because I wanted to keep it, because it's one of the Doodlebug papers that has a lot of cups of coffee, and I love coffee, and I know I'm gonna use it somewhere else. And but I killed the kit. And I hope you like it. As always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Remember to hop onto the Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine shop, where you can sign up for the sampler. I know right now you can sign to start receiving it in December, and you want to sign up for it. It's a little tiny box filled with goodies that are just gonna help you create beautiful things. Trust me, you're gonna love it. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care, guys.